Hi, and welcome to Rest Stops, short features to encourage you toward greater life balance. My name is Tammy, and here's my husband Ralph with today's Rest Stop.
Hi, and welcome to this week's Rest Stop. When talking about the cost of something, we usually think in terms of cash, currency. How much money will this item or service cost me? For most, the financial resources we have access to in our banking accounts or brokerage accounts are limited. We can't afford to buy anything we want, and we have to live on a budget. Unfortunately, many violate sound financial principles, don't like the constraints of living on a budget, and they end up in deep debt. Americans' collective credit card debt surpassed $1 trillion for the first time in the second quarter of 2023. That's just credit card debt and doesn't include mortgages, car payments, and other types of loans. Money matters is a major issue in marriages and the cause of much stress. When I was in high school, one of the books I was required to read in my literature class was Walden by Henry David Thoreau. At the time, I couldn't stand it. First, it was way too long. The paperback version I had was like 350 pages. I was not an avid reader and was much more interested in playing varsity soccer than reading about a guy who spent 2 years in the woods. 50 years later, I've read the book with a whole new mindset and understanding. I've also become a voracious reader. Now, I don't agree with all of Thoreau's writings or philosophy, but his lessons learned from his time at Walden Pond and a life of simplicity I have fully embraced. One of his most well-known and memorable quotes is, "The cost of a thing is the amount of what I call life which is required to be exchanged for it immediately or in the long run." Don't ask, what does this cost? But how much life will it cost me now and in the future? Thoreau believed that by simplifying our lives, we could reduce stress, increase productivity, and live more fulfilling lives. The principles of simplicity stem from a simple idea: less is more. Thoreau said, if you can't do more with less, you should simplify. We think just the opposite, don't we? We live in a world that wants more, not less. Companies want more sales, more profit margin, more dividends for their shareholders. We want bigger houses, more luxurious cars, and all the latest tech. Instead of conserving, we consume, and the result is anything but contentment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Money often costs too much." He was right. Is the price we pay to make more money and acquire more stuff worth the amount of life in the form of time, health, relationships, and integrity required to obtain it? I'm challenged by this new economics for determining the cost of a thing and how much life I'm willing to spend in exchange for it. Relationships are always worth the investment. I am very willing to invest in experiences. But when it comes to buying more stuff, ask yourself, how much life are you willing to spend to get it? I've decided time is more important than money. I'm not willing to compromise my health to get ahead, working unreasonable hours and weekends, available 24/7, just to keep a job or get a possible promotion. I'm not willing to pay the price and risk ruining relationships, missing recitals, ball games, birthday parties, family events, or vacations. I'm not willing to give up the rest and life balance I've worked so hard to achieve, especially over these last few years. Consider the following for tracking the cost of the things or services you purchase this coming year. Let's say you make $25 an hour, for instance. This comes out to 33.3 cents per minute. So the next time you buy your favorite latte and blueberry muffin, and the total comes out to $8, instead of $8, realize you spent or exchanged 24 minutes of life to get it. Or that $500 new phone that just came out that you can't wait to get. Recognize that you will exchange 20 hours of life for it. And then there's that new car. Say it's $25,000. You will spend 1,000 hours or around 6 weeks of life in exchange for it, not including gas, insurance, oil changes, or maintenance and repairs. Perhaps this exercise will give you a new perspective on wants versus needs. Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you."